That is video from southern Nigeria. And I thought it was important that you see the video because when you talk about flooding, it doesn't necessarily always paint the actual picture. That is catastrophic flooding across wide areas. One of the districts in a particular state in southern Nigeria is described as being 100% underwater to the level of roofs. Some buses still sticking out, other cars completely underwater. People are taking boats down what used to be city streets. And a lot of people have already died as a result of this horrendous flooding. A ship capsized not too many days ago. 76 people died because of the loss of that ship. Apparently they had been trying to get out of this region, but unfortunately, this is not open ocean. There were trees, there were rooftops, there were other things that the ship kept colliding with. It ended up sinking, and nearly everyone on the boat ended up dying as a result of it. They said 85 people were packed into a single boat. That combined, the weight of all of those people combined with the obstructions just proved too much. 600,000 people have already been displaced from this flooding. And in other regions, people have died as well, unable to be rescued in time. Now, the government is doing what it can to try to move people. These are massive amounts of people that are having to be moved, but it's absolutely devastating. And it follows a number of other horrendous instances of flooding here in the United States. Obviously, in the Middle East and Pakistan, there's been flooding as well. And some of it gets covered. Sometimes there's an acknowledgement of the link to climate change, but all too often this sort of news just goes undiscussed. And there are people that are still currently suffering, Ida. So I thought it was important that we make sure people know about it.
I appreciate you doing that. I think the internet has done a great job of dividing us, and we hyper focus on whatever groups we subscribe to. This global issue is a global issue, literally. And until we start to look at it from the perspective that we all need to save the planet, we can make all the plans that we want and be as greedy as we want and think about money and future. But if the planet isn't here and we're not here, what does it matter? So we should really be caring about this from a very global perspective, and we need to figure out how we can locally do what we can to help support the planet.
Yeah, even if it was just normal flooding, we should be helping as many people as we can. But when it's not just normal flooding, when we know that there's a link to climate change, and we know that a lot of this climate change has been driven by the activity of countries outside of Africa, Western countries that did all of their burning of fossil fuels they wanted for literally decades, and now other parts of the world are suffering the consequences of it, we have even more of an obligation to provide aid.